Good morning, everyone. So, we're going to do a little bit of work today on one of my favorites, Urusei Yatsura. Uh, so, a little bit of background uh, information. Urusei is it's a portmanteau. So, urusai is noisy or obnoxious. Urusei is noisy or obnoxious, but with the sai turned into sei, which they use the kanji for star instead. So sei is like star. You'll see that in Sailor Moon with seiyu and stuff like that. So it's the same kanji. So urusei yatsura. Yatsura is your neighbors. So the title of this is effectively noisy, obnoxious neighbors. But the kanji for in noisy and obnoxious is star, so kind of implies your neighbors as aliens, so those noisy, obnoxious aliens. So that kind of gives it its little portmanteau of this. For those of you who are not actually familiar with this book, this is a book by Rumiko Takahashi, who is the author of such wonderful books as Ranma 1/2, Inuyasha, which I think a lot of the more modern kids nowadays know her from Inuyasha, and many others, including her Mermaid Scar series. So the Mermaid series is a well-known and well-loved series. So one of the things that the discussion we were talking about was the idea and the concept of drawing Lum. So I thought, well, that's fun. I can pretty much draw Lum with my eyes closed because she's one of the earliest characters that I had ever really done. So I did kind of a rough concept sketch last night, kind of looking around, kind of poking around, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with this. Still not 100% sure I know what I want to do. But drawing Rumiko is actually relatively easy. Rumik's style is pretty simple. She does that intentionally so that she can get as many pictures in as she can possibly, squeeze in a session. So she can rattle a page every hour or so, which is what she needs, because this is just volume 1 and there's like 50 volumes in Urusei Yatsura. She went forever on this series. Then there's some 4 billion issues of Ranma 1/2. Rumiko also wrote one of my personal favorite comics, which is Meizan Ikoku, which is completely different than all of these guys. For one, it's a small series for Rumiko because it only has like 4,000 pages, which for Rumiko is stupid small. So, anyway, I'm going to be working on Lum today because I think that'll be fun, and then I can make her into a cell, and maybe we can do something about that. Lum is a beloved character, and for those of you who are not aware, Urusei Yatsura has just been rebumped, so it's coming back out again, and that's awesome. So there's a lot of great stuff kind of going on with that. So we're going to see what's coming up with Urusei Yatsura. So there you go. So that's what we're working on today. The other thing I'm going to do is kind of change her stance. So I was looking at this and I'm like, well, though cool, I'm not sure how many people will actually care to. I don't know. Maybe should we? Maybe people will like it. So. Just kind of doing this. I have an entire thing about this, don't I? Where I launched the Restream chat. I'm going to put the chat up over here. One of the things I do want to do is cock her hips to one side. Right? Because if we were to go in here and just kind of take a look at what we're dealing with, kind of want to do something like that, right? Where we're not quite part of the humor of Lum has a lot to do with kind of her childishness with sexiness. Yep. We're starting off the morning with stream failure. Right off the bat. Right. Man. Issues. Now, Lum has these sort of specific, I don't want to say codes, but like it's a sort of a specific style to her hair. Which is kind of important to match, right? Because if you don't, you kind of miss some of the key points of Lum. Right, you got to put her horns in as she's Lum. And they have these spirals on them. I saw the preview, and for the first like 20 minutes of the preview, she never said dotting once, or 20 seconds of the preview, she never said dotting once, and I was like, "Ooh, this could be bad."
Hi. I can't find my purse.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's not.
Did it come home with you last night?
I didn't take it last night.
Oh.
I never take it.
Smart.
If Alex is going to be kind enough to drive it.
Can't lose your purse if you don't take it.
I'm trying to remember the last time I had it. I didn't take it to Sword.
No, it was on the table, so it may have gotten moved.
Okay.
So look around to logical places where things might have been transported from the table.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so good, thank you. You too. See you later. Hell hath no fury, like Lum scorned. Rambu. So Urusei Yatsura came out in 1980. So there's definitely a 1980 or 1970s aesthetic to Urusei Yatsura. Which is funny and engaging and all kinds of things. I want to her shoulders is what I really want. So more like this. What I'm doing now is kind of guiding her hair. And I think about kind of the way that we want her hair to kind of rise up like this. So in doing so, kind of want to give a guide on that hair, right? You know, they're kind of a center line kind of going like this. We do kind of have it tilted just a little bit. Like so. Which means I kind of want to get back down here and kind of work on this a little bit more because I feel like I'm not as happy with down here, which is fine. The best part about digital work is that I can go back through and redo the digital work if I need to. Like I can just go on ahead and get up on this layer here and then just delete all of this down here. Which I will do right now. Because A, she's curvier. I tend to draw women much more sleek and slender. And that's not, frankly, the way that she is, right? Kind of looking out here, we've got kind of more hips, like so. We're going to keep going down with this line here and just kind of describing it, but it's more like this, right up here, kind of like that. And that gives more hip out here, going out that way. And I'll give her a very aggressive stance. So all of her weight's going to be done on this foot, which means that if you're looking below this line here, you've got her head and her upper torso like this, and you have to adjust the hip this way so that this leg ends up like that, which puts this leg kind of out like that, but all of her weight needs to be coming down like this. So we know that. So we're kind of doing that drawing or doing the drawing in that vein. So this whole line right here kind of needs to go straight down, which makes this pop out quite a bit like that. Right? And let's talk also about her hands on this one, right? Because we're going to have here and we're going to put her fingers like so because she's conjuring up electricity because that's what Lum does. So I'm going to put my fingers out like so, like that. That's going to put sort of a wrist piece right here, and then that'll put this going like so. Right? And then this hand can just be like it is, which is these three like so. Which this is not three because this is two fingers right here. That's all right. Then I'll put a thumb out like that just to make sure that we've got that thumb showing there, right? Then her wrist is right there. Shouldn't be an issue there. All right, so the way Rumiko Takahashi does this really does like completely meet at the crotch. This link right here completely meets the crotch. So we want to make sure that follows that line all the way down and across. And when I draw Lum like this, she really does look an awful lot like Inuyasha. You can kind of see where the logic of it is. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of see the character etymology. The logic of the character, drawing it up like that. Putting her hair that high, though, also gives the extra feeling of Inuyasha. So I'm going to come back here, and I'm just going to kill this back hair real quick because it's not on the line that I want it to be. All right. And I'm actually going to kind of bring this slope out a little bit more. And break that hair up a little too. All right, so we're going to come up like this. Like so. There are times where I wonder whether Rumiko is on some sort of mind-altering drugs at the time that she does some of these things, because they are hysterical and they're really funny, and then they're crazy, and you're like, okay. Like, Ataru gets betrothed to Lum because he has to play the Oni's world the Oni's world the Oni are the bad guys, so not the bad guys, the aliens, the Urusei Yatsura aliens, right? Called Oni, which is in and of itself a humorous anecdote because Oni in Japanese is a demon. So effectively she's saying that they are demons, but that just happens to be their name, which is even funnier, right? You know, bring that in like so. And bring this around. We're just going to clean up some of these rough lines. right? We're getting better here. I mean, like, we're coming along rather nicely. If you look at this by itself, it actually looks pretty decent. It's a pretty operable piece so far already, right? And looking at it here, we're already doing pretty good. Now, one of the comically funny things about Rumik's world is the eyebrows, which go straight down naturally. Right? As long as I follow those lines, we're good. Right? So now we can take that out. And we've got a much, not a bad start there, huh? I feel kind of like maybe we could have pushed that a little further, but you know what? I'm okay. I'm okay. Are you okay? I'm okay. Okay, are you okay? I'm okay. Are you okay? I'm okay. Okay? Okay. Let's go ahead and work these hands a little. And hands are always hard. Nobody likes them. Nope. Just so nobody feels bad, nobody likes hands. Except for those extreme weirdos. Like Colton. Colton's a weirdo. Because I think he likes hands. So, what we do whenever we draw hands is we just give the implication, right? We don't want to have to fight with that whole thing, so we don't bother. We just give just the implication of a hand, right? No. So we'll do. And then this line here, you just want it to be smooth. That line, you want to not do that, which it just did. And she's not wearing any jewelry, so you don't have to worry about that necessarily over here. She's just pulling her hand back like so, right like this. That's what this is all about. She's pulling her hand back like so, and she's just right, because she's like had it. She's over it. She's over Ataru. Ataru has done the worst. He is the worst because Ataru, by the way, if you're ever wondering, Ataru is his character is based on the character Ataru. That's a pun because Ataru is to hit or to be hit. It's the same kanji as honto, right? That kanji there. It's the same kanji as honto, to hit, which I like because honto is really, or this is the truth. So you say honto ne, Ramu wa kawaii desu. Really, Lum is cute, So honto is to hit. So what you're trying to say is, this is really the point. The point is right here. This is the point, right? So the kanji for honto is that same one where it's to hit, right? And so Ataru uses the hit. So as in like he's the point of the story, right? I love it. I love stuff like that. Cracks me up every time. I'm not sure if her bikini top, first of all, her bikini top is like this, right? It's not, it's furry or something. I'm not sure what she was thinking. I think she really wanted the oni to look like they were wearing animal skins of some sort because everything is tiger skinned. So I think that the point is that her top is furry or something. I've made this way too symmetrical. It's supposed to be just kind of randomly furry. There we go. Right? So, Ataru's name, which cracks me up every time. Ataru's name is very straightforward to hit. Right? Hitting on it, right? And so, hit it. Okay, gotcha. So now I'm trying to figure out, though, Lum's bikini top. Is it bolted in the center? What is going on here? Right? I can't figure out whether it's got a connector in the center or not. It's unclear. That's all right. We'll figure it out here in a second. I guess I'll never figure it out, but okay. So we're going to go in here and we're just going to do this. Because, 1980s anime, super exploitative of poor Lum. Feel bad for her. Although I don't think Lum cares, to be honest. I really don't think Lum cares. But we're going ahead and do this anyway. All right. It is particularly entertaining when you are dealing with a character like Lum, and you're sitting there thinking, okay, let's get the anatomy correct on this. And I'm like, she's an alien, right? So why does she have deltoids? You know, why does she have pecs? But you know what I mean? Like, these things go through my brain, and I'm like, why does she have all of these things? She's an alien. Like, it's so funny. That's all right. Why does she have breasts? You know, the things that make me kind of go, why does she have that? You know, why do we call her a she? These are all things that make me go, right? Straightening that up, we've got her bikini top now. Looking at it without the blue line under it, you can see it looks a lot nicer and cleaner. And there we go. We're getting pretty close to a pretty decent picture of Lum here. Like I said, I can draw Lum in my sleep. There's probably like a floofy hair thing here, right? Because if anything, this bikini needs to be remarkably uncomfortable to wear. Right? Super uncomfortable to wear. That's all right. I don't have to wear it. So it's all good. She can wear whatever she wants. As I actually had a friend of mine back in the 90s, and she dressed as Lum routinely. And she still does have a rather lovely British accent, which made her much more exotic. It was a very exotic effect. And then she'd wear the Lum bikini, and it was a really weird, bizarre thing. But she was happy, and nobody complained, so it was all good. You can't complain if you're happy. So, all right. Putting in the blue line again. We're going to do this again. We're going to kind of go through here. We're going to just kind of same thing. Where we're going to just do this. Do this. And all we're doing is, again, just giving the implication of a hand, because there's no reason to get complicated here. Right? Now, part of the problem we've done just here is that we've screwed up the foreshortening. So we're going to go whoop, 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 like so. the same thing. It's this line. It's the problem child, though. Right here. Messes up that foreshortening of this line. Because it really should cut back. Like so. There. Now I'm going to pull that out. She's just got her hands, right? Things are starting to go bad. Her left hand is fine. Her right hand, though, I'm having problems with the foreshortening. But here I can actually see where the problems are. Like we bring this out and we bring this down. Once we take those two out, everything still looks okay. So the problem really is going to be in right in here, like so, right? And plausibly that can come up just a little bit more like that because it's a little forward. Maybe just clear that like that. And that still didn't work. So we want it the way it was. It was right there, right? We'll put that there. And then we can come back down just a hair with this guy like so, and that works. I'm feeling, though, this is more like that, and that's part of our problem. Right? And then it dips up right there at the wrist, and that's part of the issue there. There, we fixed that problem. Like I've always said, anatomy irritates the hell out of me most of the time, so it's all okay. I'm going to go ahead and put in her hips, right? Remember that the bikini bottoms on her are really ridiculous. Depending on who draws her, these bikini bottoms go from like a G-string up to a full-fledged 50s bikini. But if we look at the source material, here, which would be Rumiko herself, right? Rumiko pulls her in with a bikini is almost a dress, almost a miniskirt, right? So I'm going to try to find a full-size version, a full-size picture of Lum. Her not curled up. She's curled up in all these pictures. Yeah, so looking at where Lum is on a lot of these pictures is very hard to see. Looking where Lum is on this one, Rumiko has her in much more of what looks like almost a bikini dress. That's what we're going to do. Is put her in so. There we go. The other thing Rumiko does is has it trailing off like so. off the edge. There we go. All right, so coming around this corner here, I think she's trying to imply that it's fuzzy, like it's fur. Not that it's torn, but rather that it's furry, right? Now, what I'm going to do with Rumiko's hip here is I'm going to continue this line, right? So they kind of go like this. Because remember how I said I want all of her weight on this leg, which actually kind of makes this go like more like this. Now, we have to be extraordinarily careful in this zone because fur here implies pubic hair, which entertaining will just get you banned everywhere. So there can be no fur right here. It can be fur up here, it can be fur over here, but it cannot be fur here. Ha 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 ha. Right? So we're coming around this corner. So, perfect. Right? Now we have more of what we're looking for here. Maybe her bikini bottoms are just a little too furry. Because now I'm kind of looking at it going, wow, that's a lot of fur for her hot pants. For her hot pants. Okay, that was funny in my head. This is the primary culprit is on this side. So we'll bring this up to here, and then come back. So. Right. I know this is cute and is way too rough for it up here, and I'm sorry, Lum, but these are much more hot pantsy than this. So it comes up like so. Right? Like that. And even that might be too hot pantsy. I feel like her top, looking at pictures right now, I've got pictures up on this screen. I'm just kind of looking at those pictures and thinking, yeah, they put an actual waistband on her on that top part. So it's only furry going down, not across. So we'll put an actual waistband on her. Like so. And that works. There we go. 90% of the way there. Now we got to fix some of the other weird anatomy. Strangely enough, I'm pretty happy with everything down here. I want to move this leg up and over. And give so it's more like that, because this leg needs to be more. Right, so we want to make sure that goes that way. And I can leave that open there, right here. This little section right there, because when we fill this, we gotta make sure we have no implication of camel toe. Otherwise everybody will freak it. And so clear this. I can leave this open because when we get into the coloring process, this will be flesh colored, this will be flesh colored, so it'll just bleed through, and that's not going to be a problem. Okay, getting much closer. Now her top part of her body needs to be matching the bottom part, right? So the bottom part looks great. Now let's get the top part to fit. Part of this, of course, is that now we've got proportion issues all over the place, proportion issues, not the least of which is this section of her body completely needs to be moved down, right? To about there, right? You're like, whoa, that fit. Right, just patch some of this stuff up. Cross like so. Do the same thing. We make sure this is clear. And I'll fix this part here again. Nope. Now this becomes the underarm under here, so you have to kind of give room for that. Like so. Right? And now we're looking much better. Now, the other thing it's important to note about Lum is that she actually does have oni teeth. So we got to make sure that when she's snarling like this, we bring up her oni teeth, because she actually has oni teeth. I think she only has one oni teeth, though. But it's enough that we need to make sure it's in here. Right? She has one oni teeth that you can see. Let's go back and fix this. This one's hard because it's going against the grain of my drawing. Right, it's difficult to get on here correctly. Not impossible, just difficult. There we go, bring this up like so. Around. And bring that up and around. We have to go back in here and fix this part right there. There. And now we've got that going for us. She's not centered anymore, so because of the fact that I moved her up, so I can move her now to the center of this here and complete drawing down on the legs. Which is fine because they can be like this. Right. Now we gotta move her belly button over because really things are changing in the shift here. So we're gonna be doing something more like this, which just indicates there's a shift in this torso piece. Her body is turned slightly to do that. Like she's turning to her right to fire off the electric bolts she's about to fire off. She's about to fire off electric bolts, which means that we need to put another layer in because we'll need to decide whether these electric bolts are electric bolty or not, right? Because like here's where we kind of want to decide what the electric bolts look like, right? We're going to be doing a lot of this and crackling energy, like so. And she's about to shock Ataru. Right? And that'll help us a little bit trying to kind of get a feel of what this particular piece is going to look like. It's on a different layer, so I don't have to worry about it too much. But one of the other things is we're going to have to get color codes, and we want the correct color codes. So I'm going to probably take some screen cap from the show because that'll give us the correct colors, right? We definitely want a screen cap from the show direct. So what we'll probably just do is this. Just go gunk, 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 right? And then just nail this screen cap right here. This will give us our colors. It's not a big picture. We don't want a big picture because we really don't need much of this, but we want to make sure the colors are straight, right? So you can see her Oni teeth there. She definitely has Oni teeth. So we're going to, because this will change everything right here. If we take this layer and we duplicate it, right? And we do what we've done before. I always put the copy underneath just so I remember which one's which. We take that. We're actually going to take this color. This color. Okay, so it's being indecisive. So what I'm going to do with it is this. I'm going to take this layer right here, and we're going to go up to Filter and Effect and Mosaic. And the reason I'm doing a mosaic is because when you do a mosaic like this, all you get is the base colors, okay? So you can now see like her eyes are going to be a base color because we can see here there's something going on, but I don't know what color her eyes are. I think they're a bluish color, so. Right, but once I put a mosaic in, the center points of all of this are now more accurate color representations. Like that's a color representation that works and stuff like that. Probably ought to duplicate this layer just in case I need it later for something else before I do that. So, but I will always kind of do a mosaic first because the mosaic will give me a pure color and it will get rid of the JPEG noise that you'll get, artifacting noise, right? Because now this is the same-ish color through here, right? Right through here and right through here. These are the same colors right in this center section. It's pretty sure that's the right color. So when I go into here and I tap her hair, you can see her hair is coming out in the correct color. Uh-oh, that leaked. That's fine. I'll come back and get it in a minute. Right? When I hit her skin color, right? And then when we hit that bikini yellow, because without these color codes, she doesn't look exactly right until we get this straightened out. Now we have it straightened out. Right now the colors make it right. I gotta figure out what's leaking over here. Turn off that until I can figure out what's leaking, and I'm guessing it's through there. So we'll just tap in on that. We'll just tighten that up right through there. And I'll just go ahead and do that and that, and that just makes sure that everything goes there. And everything up here looks sealed, so we're probably good there. So we'll go ahead and do that and see. Nope, that wasn't it. There we go. That was it. All right. Let's see. Here's a better picture of her here. Plum is who she is. Right? We got another wonderful picture of Lum, which gives me, I don't know, I like this. I think this is better color corrected because I feel like her hair is always just a little bit greener than this, right? So like this, that's much more like what I imagine Lum's hair, right? This also gives me an idea of what her eye color is. Nope. Which is this. Right. Her horns are the same color as her bikini top. And let's make sure we catch all the little skin pieces in here. Right, there we go. And now she's starting to really look like Lum. The other thing we're going to do now is we're going to, because she's got a specific second color for her hair. So we're going to go in there and do a specific second color line just through here. And then this is a very specific different color. See, it's very, very intentionally that color. The other thing is this loop here that you can see is very classic Rumiko. You see it a lot in her existing artwork on here, and you see the animators have mimicked it. So we're going to go in there first. We're going to do this because we know that those are going to be dark. We don't have to worry about it. And then we can come along here and do this and do this. And that'll give sort of this effect, the same effect through here. Right? Like so. Then I can go boop, boop, and then boop. And that highlights the front piece pretty well. Through here. So I'll loop it back. And that does exactly what it does in the comic or the anime, because they mimic this loop there. Just cut it out like so. And that gives that same effect that you're seeing right here. See that same effect there? Right, so we'll do the same thing. I'm just gonna give the bottom of her hair a little bit of this dark color. This. Right. Now, Lum's upper hair also does the same thing. Right. It really feels like it should be whiter. No. There we go. Now we're pulling her along in the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing over here with this particular picture of Lum just to make sure. I'm going to go on ahead and put that filter on it. But first, let's go ahead and check to see if she's got a secondary color on her bikini. Because I don't see a secondary color, but I do see a secondary skin color. I probably need a better snapshot of her from the series. Because there is a secondary color, I just need to find it. I'm not finding what I'm looking for. Man, there was rough animation right off the bat, huh? Oof. The darker yellow is really subtle, so we're gonna have to snag this and work really hard on this because that darker yellow is extremely subtitled. The darker yellow is subtle. Uh-oh, something's moving that shouldn't be moving. So, okay. So we can see this darker yellow right here. Right, so we're going to have to be, first of all, this is the lighter yellow, which if you're going to do the same thing, always match the colors. Oh, that was a bad idea. Poof. Always match your colors. So for example, you can see it went duller. It's a duller yellow for this particular one than this one. It's just the saturation of the screen. So we're going to make sure we turn off all of these things, make sure we got everything. Okay, good. Because we want to make sure when we use this darker yellow here, right? This is going to be used instead of. So we're going to come in here. We're going to do this, right? Come in here and kind of cordon off parts of this. Like that. So there we go. Kind of coming along here like so. And even just the feel at the bottom part of this is a little rounded, and certainly through the entire crotch area. Ooh, that was too much. Okay. And whether I want to go in here and kind of do this and touch up sort of to the end, that's a point of debate, because I mean it's kind of roughish through here as it's furry, and so to indicate sort of that fur, I'm going to do that. And come along here and just grab the bottom of the breast, because of course you gotta. Right. I'm going to assume that this is tied in some way, so I'm going to give the bikini a little bit of a push to a squeeze here. It's kind of squeezing in. So like so. Okay. Now when we pull back out, she's got roundness, some depth going on. We'll grab this and we'll just catch the bottom parts of her around. So kind of do through here like this and like this, and maybe not even that. We're going to come back around sort of like this and through here, like that. Do this, come up with this. And then we'll come through like so, and just come up. Okay. And this will be relatively easy. We'll snag all of that apparently. Went the other direction on me. Like this is what that should look like. And that's what that should look like. And now I gotta figure out why you're not sealed. Probably because I was scared to get up close to this guy right here. Right. That's all right. Tag there and then there. We'll have to come back and get some of this and kind of fix it a little bit. But for right now, that's, we're just trying to get the colors on the board. Right. You'll notice I'm doing a few things here, sort of implying a lot of things, like for example that and that and that, but I'm also doing a very smooth stroke to everything. You want it to be very smooth and light, and airy. Not that. That. Now we're getting depth to the character. All right, so it's getting deeper in there. Our colors are straight, so we're good. I'm feeling like all the colors are on the board now, so I don't need the helper tools anymore. So I can take this guy out and pull those out, right? Because now everything seems to be on the board. All is working like it's supposed to. We're doing fine. So we're going to go through here. We're going to do the lines like so. And like so. We'll just come back in here with the fill tool and go like that. And that is a one-stop shop. Right? Let's do the face. Now the spots you really want to catch on the face are we're going to kind of come along like this. We're going to go all the way down to about here, right? And like that. We're going to catch all the way up and underneath here. But since this is all going to be kind of swirly because of the nature of how close it is to the primary area, I'm going to kind of do this hand by hand. Just kind of get it in here and straightened up correctly. Right. Now I've got to be careful. Lum wears eyeshadow in an entertainingly blue sort of way. Right? So she's ridiculously eyeshadowy. So I'm going to catch that eyeshadow because there's an eyeshadow in there. Right? We're going to come back here. I'm going to paste this in right probably up here. Paste. And we're going to see she's got this this color of eyeshadow right here, and that's what we're going to do. And say, okay, all right, grab that eyeshadow. It's a light blue. And in this instance, I'm going to get on top of this layer. I'm going to cause a new raster layer, and I'm going to say, I'm going to make it normal, and then we're going to go in here with this blue. I'm going to grab that pen. It's one of the features that's interesting about Lum is that she actually has eyeshadow, where I've never really seen a lot of anime girls that have eyeshadow, and it's part of, I don't want to say her charm. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put this, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put this in the color layer because it really is a color. And I can do a lot more with it here. Right? She has eyeshadow. Weird, but true. All right, back to what we were doing. Now that we put in the eyeshadow, we do this. The other thing is you want to make sure that we put the little bit of under her nose tap in here, right? So we're going to come in here and a little bit of under the nose like so. And then this is going to go all the way to here. And this is going to go all the way. Which I could probably just fill in square, but that's okay. And we're going to do the same thing. Tap and tap. So all of this area is going to be that way. All of this area is going to be like that. And all of that's going to be like that. Tap, tap, tap. Right? Now, she does have a small amount of reflection or a shadow under her lip. Remember, she's like she's pissed. So that upper lip comes up. I'm just going to smooth this out. So all of these should be smoothed out like so. Like that. Perfect. Right? And we'll just smooth some of these out over here. We'll tap in here. I'll just grab like so. Here we go, just like that. Right? So now we've got that. Let's go here. All right, we're gonna come back around like so, and then just do this. And go in here and fill that like so. It's gonna be the same. See how I'm using that same sort of round in whatever, in doodly wop. It's a doodly wop. That's a technical term. There we go. I'm gonna grab some of this green, and I'm gonna kind of just make this sort of like this, and then open this up like that so that this still becomes one unit, like so, right? But doesn't. All right, and crashes are rare, but not unheard of. So we're going to go ahead and save as. Okay, the artist. Lum. Oh, one. The other thing I kind of feel like is I feel like her head's not quite big enough, right? Which isn't hard necessarily to do, but it's going to be harder to do now that we've done colors. Okay, so here's where we are now with Lum. And like I said, I can pretty much draw Lum in my sleep. There's Lum. You can see kind of going down there to that part of the body. Here we go. I'm going to finish the coloring, and then we're going to raise the value of her head because her head's not proportionate to the rest of her body the way that Lum really is. And I hate to say Lum really is because it's such a ridiculous statement to make. However, Lum is in fact ridiculous. So Lum has always been ridiculous, nothing new here. I'm going to delete that and delete that. And I don't think we need any, well, we do need that, it's electricity. Okay, so we need that. We are going to delete that. We're going to delete that, and we don't need that. or that. So we should be down to 3 layers. Just her ink layer, her color layer, and the lightning layer, which will come in a minute. Okay, we got the lightning, so it'll come in a second. By the way, you should all be appropriately mesmerized by the warp core. Just saying. So let's go to the warp core. Warp core. Warp core. Warp core. Warp core. Warp core. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. Get back to work. Warp core. Tell your friends. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go on ahead and flatten this layer so we can fix her head. This is starting to really bother me. Right? I'm going to do this. And this. Okay. Because it doesn't need to be that much bigger, but it does need to be slightly bigger. And you can all now see what I'm talking about. Like, make her head bigger there. You see how she looks a whole lot better now? Like, infinitely better. So it's worth kind of going in and doing some of this that's going to trash the picture a little. But I can do some of the fixes really quick here, like so. It doesn't take that much effort. Occurs to me that I will never see if anybody joins me right here. There we go. All right, I'm just going through here. And all I'm doing is just, don't do that. And the reason I didn't want to do that is because this is going to be a cell. And so, as such, we want to make sure that the area to the back here is erased and not, in fact, there we go. Because we want to make sure that that's erased and pulled out with the eraser so that it can be. Now, see, that's what I mean. So, with a bigger head, she looks much more like she's supposed to look, right? That bigger head helps quite a bit. The little head did not help me, right? That looks much more like Lum. And we've done pretty good there. Oh, man, I'm going to stand up. Ooh, I sat down for too long. All right. Okay, let's talk about lum and lightning. How do we depict lightning in the various worlds of Rumiko? Right? So I see it's blue and glowy and lots of blue and glowy. So I think we're going to go for blue and glowy. I know. We're shocked too. The other thing I'm going to do is add some background effects that look good. Work with me here. So we go here, we'll add in a lime green, because it's such a ridiculously nominal thing for this. Right? A nice hot pink. Like these are lights behind her, sort of thing. I don't know. I'm going for a brown. Okay. I'll take some just giving it that, I don't know, I want to say silly 70s feel, because it is lum and you really kind of want that silly 70s feel as much as possible. Right? So we're kind of giving it some graphic design that feels kind of silly 70s. I like silly 70s. I'm a child of the silly 70s, and frankly, I like them quite a bit. I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm just going to duplicate the layer. I'm going to drop this layer underneath it, and then we're going to fill these things with this ridiculous thing, but then we're only going to do these like at 25%, like so. Right? So we'll come in here and do the same thing here. Have the pink, and then just fill it. And kind of grab this and then fill that guy. And grab like that, and then fill that guy. So we get kind of that effect going for it. Looks great. It just kind of gives it a, I don't know, a ridiculous 70s feel, which will be beautiful on a black background. The paper that we've got right now is, or the paper that was sitting back there is that color, but the truth of the matter is an ideal color for this would be much more like a dark blue, like this, right? Which will give the picture a great aspect. I also feel like I've got a paper over here that I think is perfect, kind of looking through. If I think about putting something akin to like this paper here. It's got a good sparkle. I like the way it looks. It looks fine, and so I kind of like the idea of putting this behind her. I may or may not. We'll have to see. But that's the battle plan. She'll look good there on that. Now let's talk about her lightning. Right now we have this lightning sort of set up like so. I feel like lightning in the universe of Urusei Yatsura is much more of a glowy, kill 'em all sort of effect. So I'm going to get onto this layer here, and I'm going to grab this, and we're going to really push right through here like this, so that there's a lot more sort of kind of a energetic effect. I'm going to grab some energy here and just kind of do this, and then have it kind of sparkle out like so, and then branch. Having it branch is important. And so we're just going to keep going like so. Hey, George. I wondered where you'd been all day. I haven't seen you in a while. You've been probably sleeping, knowing you. Make sure that I get a lot of sort of the crackling energy coming out of her hand right here. This is the important point, right? She's about to zap the heck out of Ataru. So, yeah. Ghost cat. Oh, you've gone over there. I'm going to go on ahead and just let the pen do a lot of different kind of strengths and weaknesses, so that we can get kind of that effect. Because I'm not opposed to this kind of thing, but let's give it some dynamics, make it really look good, kind of get it out there. She's really mad, so we're gonna pop this up quite a bit. A lot of sparkling kind of going on here, sort of thing. I'm going to put the electricity on a different cell. So it's going to be one cell up, so that you'll be able to see sort of a 3D effect. But I probably ought not to have her hands then wrapped in it, because it probably ought to not come straight from her hands, so that you can't, because that'll look weird. So what I will do is I'll put another cell underneath it and then do the same effect, and that way we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so spam risk. That's probably somebody making sure I have voted. I have voted. Okay. Now, the way to do this lightning effect that works really well is to duplicate the lightning, and then go over here to filter and then blur, and then we're going to Gaussian blur the hell out of it. When you really push that Gaussian blur all the way up. Right? That is not even remotely as cool as I wanted it to be. Just gonna say, for the record. So, I'm actually going to go in here, and we're going to then do this. We're going to take, and we're going to bring it up 50%, like that. I'm going to hit this and apply to connected pixels like that. Then we're going to hit Control-Shift-I, and that inverts it, so it's going the other direction. And then we're going to go to Outline Selection. We're going to say Draw on Outside, because we want on the outside of it. We're going to do 10 pixels, and that gives that. Then we hit Deselect. That made it wider, and actually I think I'll even go for wider than that. So let's go bigger than that. Go big or go home, right? We're going to go big. So let's do 30 pixels, maybe even 40 pixels, right? That's going to be big, right? Then we deselect that. Then we put the blur and the Gaussian blur on it, right? Give it a second to think it through. Right, and that gives us much more of a staticky effect out there. We could have probably gone even brighter or bigger, but the problem is going to be paint. When I get in here and paint this cell, we're going to have to clear the center section of this cell with the white paint. So we want it to be hot, but not that hot, right? So we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to merge it down, right? Because a couple of things have occurred. For one, I don't need that there, specifically not wanting to do that, right? Now we're going to take super hot. We're going to go in here and we're just going to go around these corners here like so. Right, and kind of do this. Right, and that's just going to add a certain amount of depth to I'm just adding chaos to this. And that's just giving energy. We're just putting a whole bunch of energy into this. And she's mad, right? Don't make Lum mad. She'll shock the crap out of you. Right, just putting energy in. There we go, like so. And behold, we now have some functioning Lum action going on here. Lumliness, some lumliness going on. And this layer can be the same. Actually, I'm trying to decide where I want this to be. Like maybe 20. I think 20 looks good. I can do that. Right? So there we go. We have Lum, ladies and gentlemen. Now, question really is, anybody would be interested in, I don't know if anybody would be interested in buying that cell, but hey, you know, who knows? Somebody might be really interested in the idea of Lum. But I have 3 layers here with a shiny background. It could be interesting. You know, anything could happen. So that's a thing. All right. I need to put my signature on this, and then we will be out of the door. So last night, if you're wondering what happened here, last night, Ken was on and said, hey, I said, what should I draw? Because I really should draw something. And he said, why don't you draw a Lum? And I said, that's funny. And he was like, no, I'm serious. Oh, you know what? I can draw Lum in my sleep, says me. So I went ahead and just tapped in and real quickly drew Lum. So here we are. Right. As I often said, I can draw Lum in my sleep, so Lum was easy. Lum was one of the first characters I ever drew back in the day. Like when I mean back in the day, I mean in the 80s when Lum was only 8 or 9 years old. So, as opposed to 30. Urusei Yatsura had only been out, I'd say 9 years whenever I first started drawing Lum, as sort of the first time drawing anybody of any sort. So, it's a thing. So, but Lum is one of my beloved characters. Been around for a very long time in my world, so. Huh. Interesting. Saying the kiddo is home, but he's not. Which makes me think he left his phone here when he said, "No, I've got my phone, I'm sure. I'm sure my phone's on, and I'm sure it's with me." Okay. Okay. Trust you. I trust you a lot. Don't actually trust you. Okay, guys, that's it for me. I am out of here. We've done Lum. Lum was good. Lum worked well. We've got this piece here. It looks great. I'll go on ahead and talk about the idea of putting it out for sell, and we'll see what happens. The great part is I think this background lighting section here will just pretty much print exactly as it is, and I don't need to do any work with it. It'll be fine because it's a background element. And then this foreground element here where it's the lightning, we can just do that as its own element. That'll be fine. I'll probably put the Hanko on the lightning element. And that way I can move that Hanko over to, say, here for the lightning element. And that way it's all just one unit there. And then we'll call this good. We've got 3 pieces to this one. It'll print fine. And then we'll go on ahead tomorrow and we'll make a couple of these guys up as a cell. So that'll work. In the meantime, I'm out of here and I will see you guys potentially tonight. I may not be here tonight. My sister's flying. She's driving in. And who knows? We may just chat and stuff. So I'm just going to kind of leave that open and see what happens. Maybe she and I will chat all night. It could happen. It's happened before. My sister and I have this habit of getting into these deep discussions about life, the universe, and everything. And before we know it, it's like 3 in the morning. So we'll see whether that occurs this time or not. And so until then, I will see you all later. Have a lovely day and keep your eyes on the stars. Goodbye.